What's up guys, my name is Trickey Dickey and welcome to the first episode of Virtual Reviews. Today we're talking about budget cuts. Yeah, I'm probably late, you've probably already heard about this game, but I just got around to playing it and making YouTube videos takes me a while, so deal with it. So Budget Cuts is a cute little VR stealth game that reminds me of Portal a lot for some reason. Basically, you work in an office and the game opens with some exposition disguised as quirky dialogue between a couple of robots in the cubicles next to you. Why are these the only cubicles without walls? Why are they discussing humans as if there isn't one right next to them?
They're human. Of course they're in violation of HR.
Because this game needs a plot, that's why. Either way, you end up getting a pager delivered to you because this future society with advanced sentient robots still uses pagers for some reason. So if you're over the age of 30, your knowledge of pagers allows you to call the number on it and oh, who's there? More exposition.
Hello. People keep disappearing around here, but you're in terrible danger.
Some random lady starts telling you you're in danger and you need to GTFO. You're then thrust into fetch quest on fetch quest to gather keycard after keycard, all while killing and or stealthing around some meanie military bots who can spot you from miles away, but can't hear for crap. Like seriously, how can they not hear anything around them? I'm right behind you. Anyway, I'm keeping this spoiler free, so if you want to know more about the story, you're gonna have to play it yourself. I'm poking a lot of fun, but the story is pretty intriguing if I'm being honest. It's more than most VR games I've played in the past.
You don't have to be crazy to work here, but it sure helps.
This game looks great and it runs great too. I absolutely love the art style. It's cartoonish, but bleak at the same time, and does a decent job at building an atmosphere. You can see signs of humans that used to work there but disappeared through the surprising amount of subtle detail. Seriously though, from a design standpoint, this game looks fantastic. It's simplistic and just screams corporate office everywhere you look. It even has these ironic posters all over the place making fun of the types of stuff corporations try to put up for their office employees. The enemies are intimidating but simple looking, and the office workers are silly and kind of adorable, to be honest. Also, they remind me of the machines in Nier Automata a whole bunch. I mean, look at this. Tell me they aren't at least related somehow. Is Yoko Taro making VR games now? I have a pretty janky old PC and I didn't run into any issues running this game. I think I had it set to the medium setting between pretty and fast, and it just worked well for me. I didn't have any stutters and the frame rate was good enough that I could play for hours without getting sick. My PC has struggled to play some more intense VR titles in the past, but Budget Cuts was buttery smooth. Now let's talk about actually playing the game. The very first thing that bothered me when I started this game is using the triggers to pick up everything. I understand this was made for both the Oculus Rift and the HTC Vive, so it's probably easier to have it this way considering the grip buttons on the Vive are absolute garbage. But I have an Oculus Rift and I hate when games don't utilize the grip buttons on the touch controllers. That's just a preference for me, but whatever. It's not so bad because you see the controllers in game instead of hands, but it still feels clunky and didn't feel good the entire time I played this game. I often felt sluggish interacting with things because of how unnatural it felt, and it made combat difficult for me, but I'm also trash at video games, so what do I know? Switching between the teleporter, the gripping tool, and the looking glass feels super good, however. You press and hold a button and move your controller into what tool you want to use. This vibrates your controller a bit and makes the super satisfying clicking sound. Oh yeah. Super well done, guys. This mechanic gets an A+. It just felt really cool the first time I learned how to do that. The inventory works pretty similar. Hold the other button and your inventory pops up and you just grab what you want with your other hand. You still have to use the triggers to grab stuff, but sorry, I won't bring it up again. Maybe. The teleporting is pretty cool. It gives you a little window to see where you're gonna go before you go there, but it feels slow when you're spotted and about to die. You have to shoot this little ball, and it has to land before you can move there, so good luck dodging bullets with this. I guess it motivates you to get good at stealth and not just run away all the time, but then again, I'm bad at video games, so this has screwed me over many a time. This little teleporter window mechanic has a funny bug when you hold it up to your face. where it combines the two locations and you get some funny objects clipping, but whatever, it's an original concept and dang, is it just neat. Did you get it? The game was made by Neat Corporation? Yeah, forget it. It was a bad joke. Get used to that. The combat in this game is what is most frustrating for me. I love stealth games to death, but I love sneaking up on dudes and performing some sort of stealth takedown, and this is very hard to do in budget cuts. These fancy throwing knives are the entire combat mechanic, and they are the bane of my existence. First off, you have to use the trigger to pick them up, which I know I said I wouldn't mention again, but hear me out. The game expects you to throw them more than stab with them, and it's super hard to do with the Oculus triggers. Throwing them in general doesn't work very well, they don't go far, and it's practically impossible to have any accuracy when doing this. I ended up just waiting around corners and stabbing dudes in the face 90% of the time. This, I will say, is super satisfying, but having to pull them out of your inventory one by one makes this a little weird when you need to kill more than one bad guy in a row. I prefer when VR games have weapons strapped to your body, and I think that would have been nice in this game, because the more mission items you're carrying, the fewer knives you can carry, and managing your very limited inventory while picking out knives from the other items becomes frustrating when your life is on the line. Bottom line is, you're going to spend most of this game either crouching down behind cubicles or luring bad guys around corners so you can just stab them in the face. So if you're into that sort of thing, then knock yourself out. This game doesn't make you feel overpowered like a lot of the other action games that I've played in the past, and I guess that's kind of the point, because you're just supposed to be some office worker that got thrown into a bad situation, so I guess they get points for that because that does seem pretty realistic. You're not a ninja. You're not very good at using throwing knives or fighting off deadly robots, and that's just the realism. For its cartoonish style and lighter-hearted feel, using these knives is surprisingly violent. I understand why it's not recommended for kids despite its E10 plus rating. Stabbing an enemy or an office worker, which it totally lets you do by the way, causes them to jerk around violently and gush oil all over the place. It was pretty jarring to say the least. The office workers will even say things as they die if it's not instant, and holy wow, I felt super bad the first time I tried it.
Really? I don't think I'm gonna make it. How could you?
I swear I was just trying to see if it would work. I'm not a psycho or anything. At the end of the day, it seems like they want you to focus on sneaking around and not really taking out every enemy, because the combat isn't even really taught to you at all. It's not part of the tutorial and it gets no explanation besides, I'm sneaking some knives in the office, make sure you pick them up. Now, I know I spent most of this video complaining about stuff, but Budget Cuts is a pretty solid game. I know I'm being petty about the trigger thing, I'm just picky. I'm an Oculus fanboy and I love me my touch controllers. I don't think this game lived up to the hype that I built up for it in my own head, but it's still worth the $30 or whatever it is right now. I can't think of many stealth VR games off the top of my head, so this was definitely a first for me. Even though it feels super slow, the teleporting is handled in such a cool, unique way, I'm pretty inclined to forgive it. At the end of the day, it's fun, it's immersive, and I'm definitely going to be playing it again. When you're getting spotted, there's this intense build-up sound, and the music just builds a ton of tension, and I have never crouched down faster than when I've been playing this game. Overall, I like Budget Cuts, and I think you would too. So if you got an Oculus, try to pick it up, it's a good game. If not, get yourself an Oculus, what are you doing? Virtual reality is the best thing in the world. Where have you been? Get on that train. Thank you so much for watching my video on Budget Cuts. I'm trying a little something new with this review type video, so let me know what you thought in the comments down below. Tell me what you thought of the game if you played it, or just tell me to shut up about the triggers thing. I'm not gonna, but you can tell me to. Don't forget to like and subscribe and click that bell icon so you're notified whenever I feel like uploading more videos. I also try to live stream from time to time when I get an extra minute, so subscribe if you're into that sort of thing. I'm also the co-host of a podcast called Heat Gaming. I'll have that channel linked in the description, or you can just listen to us on your favorite podcast app. iTunes, Spotify, we're pretty much on all of them, so go check it out. Anyway, that's all I got. Thanks again for watching, and peace.